If you agree, step forward. Let's start with you.
I hate the name men's rights activists because it does imply that as if our rights are being taken away. The problem that men face is more existential. The patriarchy conditions men, or assigned male at birth people, to pretty much just keep your feelings shut down. By age 10, your feelings don't matter. And then 12 through 13 and onwards, you just don't really feel like you matter much as a person. And I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. Our rights aren't really under attack. Meanwhile, half of Congress hasn't codified Roe v. Wade. They're trying to control women's bodies, and it's just ridiculous. Like, our rights aren't under attack, but a lot of women's rights are, and I think it's important that we fight for that.
Right. I also think that there's a difference between like rights and inequalities.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't think that my rights being taken away. I think that's just an effect of patriarchy.
I agree.
We're not like losing our bodily autonomy. We're not, fearing for our lives walking down a dark hallway, So I don't think they're comparable.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you look at most of the world's leaders are men, most judges are men. Look at even our Supreme Court, there's 9 judges and how many are women? It's the fact that women had to fight and ask to, in 1974, get access to have their own bank account, like, that's absurd. That's absurd that, just because there's a little clause in the Constitution that says all men being equal, they're gonna play dumb and act like that means just men. It doesn't mean human. And for women to have to fight for anything to be equal to a man is just...
It's ridiculous.
It proves that men have their right. They're the ones that set the rights. They're the ones that, if that's most of our Senate, our House, our Congress, everybody, they're the ones that vote over the laws and things that get passed. They have the rights and they're the ones that dish them out to everybody else, and you're lucky if you can get them.
And we also need to remember men's right activism. While they do have some genuine plights, it started out as a combatant to feminism. So I feel like they laid the groundwork off a very bad foundation.
No, I 100% agree. I think it's been hijacked by a lot of bad faith actors who blame women for problems that you should blame the patriarchy.
Exactly.
No, and it's very frustrating because I'm on this side because I think that there is genuine problems that I think need to be addressed.
Exactly.
I'm sure we can all agree on that.
What are some of those problems?
High suicide rates. Men are 4 times as likely to, I don't know what the TikTok version of the phrase is, but 4 times more likely. I think that's something that should be talked about more. I think that there's also, a lot of men are very hesitant to get rid of the notions of patriarchy, whereas I've noticed a lot of women or assigned female at birth people are very willing to just throw away any notions of femininity. I think a lot of men have a lot of emotional baggage from the patriarchy that they redirect at women, and it's not fair to them, and it's also hurting us.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. Do you guys feel as though men rights are being attacked?
Lapeef, I thought Norbit left Press Fuchsia and became an anti-feminist because you would think that after his relationship with Press Fuchsia that he would understand that the plight of women is not what he thinks it is. But here we are. He is a feminist. And he sat there and said, women or people who are identified as women, because it's just a random toss of the dice. When you're born, we don't know what you are. We just roll the dice and see what happens. I'm just so upset right now. The plight of men. It is something that spun out of feminism, but not in the way that the man was saying. He was making it seem like men were searching for a way to have something as the equivalent of feminism because they felt left out. That's not what happened. What happened was, in all the efforts to make women feel equal, we have put them over men in so many ways. And for example, court system, family courts. Instead of it being a fair playing field, the judges are all, pardon my French, pussified. Soon as they see a poussé, they are like, yes, you get all rights, all monies, everything, no matter what. This woman could be a crackhead, a prostitute, a drug dealer, a pimp, and everything. And I've seen it so many times. And she still gets custody and child support. But let the man do one thing and And so anyway, so this is part of the thing that happened, is that we didn't just give an inch, we gave a mile, a kilometer, we gave a yardstick, we gave everything. And uh, and as a result of all of that, men are expressing what they are seeing. And it's not the same as feminism, because feminism today is a bunch of BS. Women, name one right that women do not have that men have today. Name me one, and I will concede. If telling you that you cannot kill that baby that's in your uterus is part of me taking away your rights, then I think you have a confusion of what is your right and what is the right of another person at that point.
Would anybody like to respond on the video or what Ameera had to say? Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Taken. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts about the video so far about men rights being attacked?
I share a different perspective. I agree with the point of saying, I can't remember which guy said it, that men's rights, there's a difference between rights and inequality, right? So I agree with this statement that I don't think men's rights are being attacked. I do think that there's a level of inequality depending on the situation. Ameera brought up a good point in terms of the court system when it comes to custody, although there's some research around that as well about why that happens. But I think what men are feeling is akin to the same thing that white males are feeling when you are accustomed to being in a position of privilege, and people fight against, let's say Black people fighting for like civil rights and things like that, you automatically feel as if things are being taken away from you when people are trying to level the playing field, because then that means you no longer have the same access, so to speak, right? The same privilege. The privilege is being challenged. So I kind of think that that is the same level of what men are feeling as women try to, gain equal access to certain, privileges that men have.
So yeah, I don't think nobody's rights is being under attack. I think it's just rights are being reevaluated based on who's in position of power, and the rights that's in questions is under discretion of the person in power, their moral compass and what they believe is suitable for how the nation should operate. I think it's always been like that. I think the nation was set like that to reserve the right to be able to adjust rights, make changes based on who's in office and who see fit. And I think there's a good argument that if it were not for that reservation, we probably would be 3/5 of a human being in a particular era in time if we wasn't allowed to reevaluate rights. So as far as saying that somebody's rights is under attack, I think it's an extreme phrase. I think it's more suitable to use that rights are under evaluation based on who comes into office, and I yield.